Assalamu alaikum, boys and girls. I am very happy to be with you on this e-learning platform, and I hope you're having a good time at home with your family and enjoy learning from home. I miss you all, and can't wait to see you back again after spring break. And today I wanted to go over our lesson. I know you have your akhlaq package, so inshallah, let's begin. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And we just finished our um, topic about anger. And I'm going to share my screen so that I can work with you on our lesson that we have been working on. Okay, so just going back, we learned about anger. Why did Allah give us the ability to get angry but ask us to refrain from anger? And so we have gone through all of these exercises. When are we allowed to get angry? And we worked on those examples. What are some examples of situations when anger should have been restrained? Give examples. Give example from the life of the holy personalities or prophets who had the ability to be angry but restrain themselves. Can you relate a time in your life when you restrained anger? And so all of these exercises, these will help you reflect on your personal life and taking lessons from history. This will help you um, put the chapters into perspective in our own day-to-day life. Okay, so our next topic is Kharz Hasna. Now, if you think about it, what is Kharz Hasna? Kharz Hasna means to give a loan to those who require aid. And why is this important in Islam? And if you look at our current situation, if we need a loan in America, we go and take an interest, or we buy a house, or we buy a car. And inshallah, when you grow older, when you have your own earnings, inshallah, you will start on working towards buying a house or buying a car. And and our current situation here is that most people take a loan to buy a house or to buy a car. And if you once you graduate from high school, it's expected that we build a credit in this country. So they will ask you, do you have a credit card, or do you have anything to prove your credit history? What the banks are looking for is that you have a credit card and you pay your loans back, or when you borrow money or when you spend money on your credit card, you pay your monthly bills on time. So they're looking at the banks are looking at your credit history to see how are you uh, maintaining your accounts, or how are you managing your money, how are you with your finances. That's what they're looking at when they want to check your credit history. And that is our current system here in America. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking you to give Kharz Hasna, meaning a loan to those who require. And so this is our moral obligation that if we were to have a good system in place within our community where we lend each other money, then we would not have to go and get uh, money or take loans from the bank which charge interest. And as you know, interest is haram in Islam, but then there are certain but then we'll discuss more when it is allowed and so forth in our next. We don't want to get into which is called riba. We will get into that topic, inshallah, when you go into seventh grade or eighth. But for now, let's look at this system. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ask us to um, encourage us to give loan? So this loan is that it is a moral duty that when somebody needs some money, that we'll lend them the money, and without charging them without charging extra money in repayment. So those who have the ability are Allah has encouraged them to give money to those who can. So even though you are not working, but soon you will start um, working as part time. I know you children start as early as 16 years. So that's not very far for you all. So once you go into finance, once you start earning money, then you should start looking into what are the best way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to spend your money. So this is the ayat says, who is he that will lend to God a fair loan so that he will multiply it to him manifold? So when you give loan to people, it is as if you have loaned it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It says lend it to God. So that is a big statement, as if Allah is saying that it's a guaranteed. So if you give Allah, so when you're giving loan, you're giving it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you know that it is guaranteed. When you give something and you're entrusting it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you are guaranteed that you will get it. And then Allah is saying that He will multiply it many fold. So it's not just one on one. He's going to give you much more. He'll give you on this earth as well as in the hereafter. Another ayat it says, if you lend to God a beautiful loan, He will double it to your credit and He will grant you forgiveness, for God is most ready to appreciate service. So because you are parting from your what is dear to you, you're parting your riches and then you're giving it to somebody else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really appreciates this service. Uh, and then so that why is this encouraged? This is encouraged so that our community will prosper, it will develop, and at the same time become more united. That the one who borrows the money should have the intention to pay it back as quickly as he possibly can and should not delay it. If he misuses the facility, then he is taking advantage of the system and will cause difficulties for others. So if you think about what is the concept behind this giving, why is it so important? First of all, when you lend money, if you lose, if you have $1,000, right, and you lose it, you will have a sleepless night when you lose your money. But at the same time, if you give that $1,000 to somebody who needs it, you don't have it, but you are guaranteed that it is in the safe hands and you'll get it back. And then you in return you conquer selflessness because you have gained. Once you lend money to somebody, then you become selfless because you didn't think about yourself. You didn't think about maybe I could invest it in somewhere else instead of giving this person this money. I am investing it. I should have invested in where I would have got uh, more benefits, or it could have doubled it this much if I had invested it in some other place. So in return for that, you have earned yourself selflessness because you have that quality comes in you. And then you have also conquered the greed because now you're not hoarding your wealth. You are parting your wealth to give it to other persons. So then you become greedless. You are not miserly anymore. And these two qualities starts developing in you. And at the same time, the community is not, it is, so the people are not being um, they don't have to, for example, some people give, they ask, take advantage of the situation. People who are rich, they take interest. They say, I'll give you, but you have to give 2% back or 3% back or 5 or 10. So that is really not a healthy system to develop a society. And the community is not developing because it's only one sect of people who is gaining and becoming selfish and being greedy. So it's the opposite of what you're gaining by giving Kharz Hasna. When you give Kharz Hasna, you're gaining two things. You're becoming selfless and you're becoming greedy less. You're not miserly. At the same time, when you give interest and you You charge people money for the money that you are giving them as in form of higher interest in return, then you are becoming selfish and greedy. And then also we must always help our community and people at large. If we stop to ponder for a moment, we will not be on this earth anymore, but our so if you think about it, whatever we are doing here on this earth is we are getting sawab. So the question is, what do we want to leave behind? What is the legacy that you want to leave behind? So some people have given Kharz Hasnas to building a mosque. And imagine they are not there, but they have gotten their money back as well as they have built a mosque. So Kharz Hasna helps you leave a legacy and helps gain you a lot of sawab. And on the day of judgment, what good will our wealth be? On the day of judgment, we will not say, okay, I earned $100,000. Where's that going to get you in the day of judgment? But if you invest it here by giving kharz hasna, and I know inshallah you'll all be very good professionals when you graduate and you do your masters and you do your PhD, you become doctors, lawyers, engineers, and we have a lot of money. Think about it. What are you going to invest in this world so that on the day of judgment, your money your wealth that you have accumulated will you can take it with you on the day of judgment. And the best way is to give Kharz Hasna in building mosques, in building schools, in building um, community centers that will help your community, senior centers, anything that your community needs. So inshallah, I hope this helps you. And then these are some worksheet that you can do after you read this lesson. And I know you all have this package with you. So inshallah, work on this and try to complete this package by spring break. So this is Ehsan and Shukr. And the next topic is here. Language, abusive language, insults, sarcasm, and you can work on this. But we will also go through this after spring break. So, inshallah, because what happens is when I am teaching you, I also give you examples to make it more easier. So, inshallah, um, uh, even though you will be reading and completing your exercises, I will still go ahead and explain these more chapters in future. So, inshallah, I hope you're having a good spring break, and I will see you soon after spring break, and we will get to see what happens. And inshallah, just pray. And your prayers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers children's prayers. So no need to be worried. You just need to do the best you can and take this time to spend time with your family. And inshallah, we will see each other very soon. Okay? And with that, we will end. And fi amanillah.